Afternoon, Joanne. Well, it's been quite intricate technical cross-examination by Francois van Zyl of Mziwamadoda Qwabe, really looking for discrepancies in his statement, saying that he's offered three different versions to the court of where exactly the money was placed. Francois van Zyl saying that his client will say that 10,000 rand was in his late wife's handbag and not in a pouch behind the passenger seat of the car. Also saying that the so-called middleman, the link between the shuttle driver and this out-of-work tour guide who ended up being involved in the murder, had more of an involvement than he's letting on. There's a lot of I can't recall, I can't quite remember, I'm not certain coming from Qwabe. And to be fair, it was 4 years ago, and if I have to think to myself what something that happened perhaps last week, it's not that easy for us to remember, although this was a significant event. But he does either seem to be really struggling to remember details of the murder and the journey towards that murder, or he's an evasive witness.
This must have been one of the quandaries for the state. How do you decide to put someone on the stand who may be an unreliable witness, who's already changed his story a couple of times before he's even made it onto the witness stand?
I think it's a difficult one. I think the state's got to work with what it can get. I think it also probably hopes to be able to corroborate a lot of Qwabe's evidence with Zola Tongo, the shuttle driver. That really is going to be key to the state's case. Do these two testimonies add up? Bearing in mind that Tongo left the car, he got out of the car shortly before Anni Dewani was murdered, and the two hitmen, if you like, were driving around Khayelitsha looking for a place to drop Shrien Dewani off. So I think their evidence is going to have to be key, and the judge really has to look at how reliable they are, how credible, how reliable they are, and weigh the two versions up against Shrien Dewani's. It'll be very key too for the defence's case as to whether they're going to put Shrien Dewani on the stand, because he himself could lead the way for further questions and gaps in the defence's case should he be a poor witness.
Well, he's also made some formal admissions in the last day or so, including the fact that he was surfing a gay porn website shortly after the body of his wife was found. I mean, is that actually strictly relevant to what's being argued in court right now?
You know, Joanna, I suppose at best at this stage to make a judgment call on it, you could say that it was perhaps callous. Your wife has just been murdered, and there you are, you know, surfing gay pickup sites and fetish sex sites. Perhaps that was his way of dealing with stress. I don't know. But I think that we'll probably hear more about this underworld, if you like, or the underbelly of the sex, the paid sex world, the prostitution, gay prostitution world that he was seemingly quite immersed in. Once the German master, Leopold Leisner, takes the stand, he should be flown in from the UK. So we'll probably hear more about that. But just looking at the front pages of those sex sites, you know, it's clearly something that he spent quite a lot of time on, and I think only Leopold and perhaps Shrien Dewani himself will be able to give us more insight into that and see how relevant it is going to be for the state's case, because standing on its own, being bisexual and having an interest in you know, masochism does not make one a murderer, does it?
Very important point. Thanks very much for that update, Anni. We'll leave it there. And a reminder, of course, Leanne Jansen will...
You deserve to know more. eNCA.com